I'm at the point when I'm starting to believe that this snow is never going to stop. I mean, sure, it gets lighter, but it's never going to stop completely, because every time it stops completely, and I start to see the ground a bit, what ends up happening was more snow gets dumped on top of us. So, snow's never going to end. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure I said this on a previous video. If not, I've said it in regular, everyday conversation. After this is all said and done, when we finally get to spring, and then lead into summer, and then back into fall, which of course fall I go home again, everyone knows that. I don't want to see snow again unless they are soap flakes at the Osborne lights. Yeah, I have pretty much had enough of snow, and I'm done with it. It looks nice, I'm aware, and I don't have to drive in it, so that's not an issue, but I would have to walk in it. I've been fortunate lately that I've been having rides, but there's going to come a time that something's going to happen, I'm not going to have that, and then I'm trudging in the tundra like I have years previous. So, this is Saturday, and I'll apologize for the sinuses already, as I can tell. It's weird because every time I turn on the camera, I always have that issue. Like, I'm fine, I'm sitting here, I'm watching Smackdown, everything's going great, nothing. I get the camera on me, I start to talk, bam, it just happens every single time. So, real quick, I want to throw out the fact that I hope you guys and girls out there enjoyed our very special verses that we put out yesterday. Quite a epic battle between Gone with the Wind and Casablanca. And don't worry, we have another versus upcoming tomorrow. And actually, AJ's movie reviews of the 4 new release movies plus Old Boy will be out on Monday. Now rest assured, there's going to be a lot of filming that's going to be done in the next few days. Now, it is Saturday, and as you watch this video, there's a good possibility I'm already at work, and I am working box office or tearing tickets or whatever they have me do at the time. Or maybe building movies, who knows? I mean, I do have like Pompeii and 3 Days to Kill that are coming next week, so there's always that. Now, I will throw out this to you guys. Tonight, AJ and myself are going to be watching Winter's Tale and Endless Love. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then tomorrow is obviously BAFTA Sunday, which means kayfabe the internet for the day because it's pre-recorded. And doesn't show here until later in the evening, but obviously it's early in the day since it's the United Kingdom. So I also think that maybe the first time I've ever called it the United Kingdom and not just shortened it by calling it the UK. Now, I also want to say that this will be a long couple days of filming. We actually do have the movie reviews to film, the one review video I was telling you about. We have our Oscar prediction, yes! We are finally doing our Oscar predictions, and as of this very moment, it looks like it's going to be on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to give our 100% final concrete, not changing anything, not backing down from speculation. This is actually going to be the real deal. Our Academy Award predictions will go out this Thursday. And I don't see any way that's going to change. Now, I will also say that our Philip Seymour Hoffman tribute is coming out later this week as well. We've actually spent yesterday watching a lot of his performances on YouTube. And actually Sunday, tomorrow, we're actually going to be watching some of the movies, the actual movies instead. Because we have the videos to shoot, but we also want to do a little bit more research before we do the video. That's the reason why it's taking so long. And Monday will be the day we shoot our BAFTA recap, and also the day we do the Philip Seymour Hoffman video, so it'll be out after that. Now, of course, Tuesday I'm doing Raw, and Monday night is actually going to be I'm actually watching Raw live, which is interesting because I haven't done that in a while. Because obviously last week we did Clockwork Orange, which was awesome, by the way. And this week we're doing another Kubrick movie in Athens. It's Barry Lyndon. So yeah, we're going to be doing that on Tuesday night. So I got to work till 5, and then we're going to do Barry Lyndon. Wednesday's going to be B-dubs, and that's how it works. Thursday, I got to work till 6, and then on top of that, we're watching 3 Days to Kill. Friday, we're doing Pompeii, and then we'll go back to normal. Because obviously, we don't have another show to worry about until March 1st, which is the Independent Spirit Awards. So, that is going to be good. And obviously, the 24th is the launch of the WWE Network. So, obviously, I'm going to have a lot of stuff to do after that. And like I said before, there's a really good chance I'm actually going to be talking about old WCW and old ECW and even old WWF pay-per-views and critiquing them just like I would a regular broadcast. Not really talking about storylines. You know, honestly, I just call them matches, because I love to do that, as you guys should know by now, because I'm one of the only reviewers that I'm aware of online that calls the matches before he critiques them. Or she critiques them. I don't know how many female reviewers there are, if there are any out there. Hi. And it makes me unique, and I think that is truly the case. So, got a lot of things to work on. We have some new segments that are be coming up very soon. Got some new ground rules for Versus that we're talking about to go out real soon. Versus will not only be movies that we like. Yeah, I know we said that. We threw out the caveat when we first started back with Oz the Great and Powerful against the Wizard of Oz, when we were doing the annotations, and it drove me absolutely insane. Now, AJ switched over to do the regular Versus, which you guys know now. Well, the thing about it is, if you check this out, you'll notice that we also will have some bad movies to see what's worse. We're going to be doing that in the near future. And we're going to be doing some more stuff. A lot of things will be changing as we're going to go from good to bad, bad to good, and vice versa. So we're going to switch it up on you guys every once in a while. And I know the housekeeping thing gets kind of old, especially when you just guys want to hear the wrestling recap. So, I only threw out about 7.5 minutes. Let's talk SmackDown. Now, usually NXT starts this review, and the reason why NXT is not on this video is because on Wednesday I did NXT. So, you can check it out on the very NXT and SmackDown playlist you're most likely on right now. And if not, if you flip back in the newest videos, if you flip back, like, click a couple times, at least, I would say that you can find it pretty easily. It may still be on the main page as of right now, I'm not exactly sure. So, this was a very interesting show. 6 matches on this card, not much talking. So, the only thing I had to write down were spot for spot, and I like that. I like that a lot. We're on the road to the Elimination Chamber. Obviously, Elimination Chamber's pay-per-view, as of this very moment, is going to be the 23rd of February, which is not this coming Sunday, not 2 days, tomorrow. It is next week. Next Sunday will be the Elimination Chamber. So, obviously, we are on the road to the Elimination Chamber. We're nearing the final stretch. We have this SmackDown I'm talking about. We have Monday's Raw, next week's SmackDown, and then we have our pay-per-view. So, that's going to be entertaining. And for those of you out there that are wondering if it will be on the WWE Network, not right away, but apparently in the month of April it will be included as well. Because, technically, if you really think about it from that perspective, we don't have another pay-per-view to WrestleMania. So, March doesn't have a pay-per-view, so technically you're still going to get Elimination Chamber, but you might have to wait a bit. And don't forget, on the 24th you can also sign up for a 1-week free trial before you decide to spend $9.99 a month, 6-month commitment to purchase the WWE Network, which obviously I'm going to, as I wear my TNA shirt. Now, it's just what I had on, sorry. So, let's talk about the opening of the show. The opening of the show wasn't a 4-hour What's Best for Business segment. No. Was it Randy Orton whining about having to defend his championship? Oh no. It was another in the series of incredible 6-man tag team matches involving The Shield. This time around, The Shield faced off against 3 members of the Elimination Chamber match, which, of course, being Sheamus, Christian, and the MVP of the WWE himself, Daniel Bryan. So, let's go midway through this match, and I have almost a page of notes here, so for those of you that like commentary, you're going to love this video. So, let's start out the match, shall we? It's Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan from the mid-set of the match. There's a whip-in, and Bryan goes for the charging dropkick in the corner. He misses. Roman headbutts Bryan, tagging to Ambrose. He comes in and steps on Bryan's throat. Tag back into Seth Rollins. He locks on a modified camel clutch. I say modified because he has one leg underneath the arm and not the other. So it's kind of a modified camel clutch, but it's still pulling up on the chin and tweaking the neck. So Bryan breaks the grip and hits an axe handle to the spine, knee drop, and locks on a chin lock to Seth Rollins. Boot in, whip in, charge in, misses, and hot tag into Sheamus. Sheamus comes in, axe handle, whip in, charge in with the shoulder block in the corner, comes off the ropes, Mr. Wrestling 2 knee lift, and he goes for the Finley roll, gets countered, pushed off to the ring apron, big shoulder block, and Sheamus goes for the clubbing blows to Seth Rollins. He goes up top, and I'm guessing he's going to go for the battering ram. Ambrose gets up to try to distract him. He gets knocked off, and this allows Seth Rollins to leap up, catch him with an enziguri kick, and knock him off the top rope. So, tagging to Roman Reigns. And what does Roman do? Sheamus, of course, is precariously placed across the middle rope. Roman does his leaping dropkick to the side of the head to a huge pop from the crowd, and that's on the outside. He tosses Sheamus hard into the barricade, tosses him back in, and he tags into Ambrose. Ambrose works him over momentarily and tag back into Rollins. Obviously, the Shield are cutting off the ring. So the boots repeatedly in the corner. He does the charging forearm in the corner, 1 count only. Sheamus kicks out. So he pulls back on the nose, basically trying to give him a nice little facial like change, I guess you would say. That's the wording I was looking for. I was trying to think of something else, but yeah, he's just pretty much trying to give him a makeover in the worst way possible. Tagging to Roman Reigns, Sheamus punches his way out of the corner, and he gets stopped with a boot, and Roman Reigns slams him face first into the canvas, locks on a modified front face lock, and breaks the grip, knocks Bryan off the ring apron, and just gets up in Christian's face and dares him to do something. That is the sheer awesomeness of Roman Reigns. He's like, come on, get in the ring. I dare you, Christian. I dare you. He walks right into the Irish Curse backbreaker. And, of course, he has to tag out. Seth Rollins now tagged in. He does the leaping back senton. He misses, and this gets the big tag into Christian. So Christian's finally in. Tagging Ambrose, and whip in reverse. Christian comes off the ropes with a flying forearm. Gets in the corner, going for the 10 punch. He gets 9, and he slingshots over. Going for, obviously, the uppercut when he's across the bottom rope, or the middle rope in this case. So what happens in this case is actually Seth Rollins goes to attack. He ducks out of the way of it, hits the uppercut on him, and catches the shoulder, goes up top, charges in, he gets the boot up, he nails the Tornado DDT on Dean Ambrose. Both members of the Shield makes the save. So Bryan hits a missile drop kick on Rollins and Reigns, and the yes kicks to both simultaneously. He'll kick Reigns, he'll kick Rollins, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He goes for the buzzsaw kick on Roman Reigns. He gets caught with a powerbomb, and it gets countered in a Hurricane Rana, sends him to the outside. So he ducks Rollins' clothesline, and then he comes off the opposite ropes, ducks Rollins' clothesline, and when he ducks the clothesline, he uses his momentum to nail Roman Reigns with a tope on the floor. When Bryan gets up to his feet, Seth Rollins returns the favor and nails a tope of his own, both times going into the barricade. So, back in the ring, we have the legal men of Christian and Dean Ambrose. So, he ducks Ambrose's clothesline, falling inverted DDT, 1-2, Ambrose kicks out. So this allows Seth Rollins to come off the top with a version of the blackout, or a knee strike, depending on how it was, because obviously it doesn't matter, because Sheamus ducks out of the way, and Brogue kicks him into oblivion. So Ambrose hits a knee to the back of the head on Sheamus. Christian goes for the kill switch. It gets countered. Ambrose backdrop. Christian lands on his feet. Christian holds Ambrose for the brogue kick. He goes for the brogue, does Sheamus, and he nails Christian because Ambrose ducks out of the way in the nick of time. Roman spears Sheamus. Ambrose steals the pin on Christian. 1, 2, 3, and the Shield win again. What an awesome match, especially to kick off the show. Really enjoyable contest between these 6 men. I'll tell you right now, these Shield 6-man tag matches have been phenomenal. I wish they would put as much into the Wyatt family 6-man tags as they did with the Shield. Because obviously the Shield do it all the time. The Wyatt family just periodically, obviously. This goes back to last week. We had the Sister Abigail from Hell on Rey Mysterio. Now, I think that you're going to get the Wyatt family and 6-man tag action on Raw in 2 days. I'm pretty sure that's going to end up happening. The Shield needs to stay strong. The Wyatts need to stay strong. And of course, we had that phenomenal Mexican standoff between the 6 men on Raw Monday night. And it was excellent. Like, there's lots of times you question why you're a fan. Moments like that are the reason why Sir Owen Disney's a wrestling fan. And why I was very happy to be a part of the wrestling business myself for as long as I was. Even if I never do another show, I still had a great experience in professional wrestling, and I'd do it all over again. I'd change a couple things, obviously, but there's always that. So we got our next match, Fandango, and Summer Rae, of course, in his corner, taking on The Miz, who, I guess if you want to equate The Miz with the gimmick right now, if you played EWR, Extreme Warfare Revenge, you know, the wrestling simulator on the internet, the one you can download. I think you can still download it, I'm pretty sure. I think it's Total Extreme Wrestling now. It's Adam Ryland's games. Basically, what you can have right now is his gimmick is called an angry young man. I don't necessarily think The Miz is extremely young, but he's very angry. And he's angry because he's not getting any television time. This, of course, is building towards The Miz and Dolph Ziggler tag team. Now, if there were a reason to bring anybody into this angry men stable, you know what, at this point, why don't they just do a 3-man stable with The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, and Zack Ryder? You can play up on them all being friends and them all getting along, and you know what, while you're at it, I've liked this guy for a long time. I think he's a great worker. I think he's very underrated. Why not bring Kurt Hawkins in? So you have The Miz, you have Dolph Ziggler, you have Zack Ryder, and you have Kurt Hawkins, and they're all here to do what? They're here because they want their time. They want their shine. They want their spotlight. I think it's a brilliant idea. Now, a lot of people would wonder how you could take some of these guys seriously, especially Zack Ryder. But I think that it would work really well, especially because Ryder has a perfect, flawless storyline if they wanted to turn him right now. The fact that he was over so much to the point that he was cheered over The Rock before. And he used to get monster pops. And he sold all the merchandise. And then what happened? He lost Z-True Long Island Story and everything went down the tubes. So it's a perfect way to do it. And I think if you're going to do this stable, you're going to do the angry young man stable. You have The Miz, you have Dolph Ziggler, and you have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, and that's your 4 you start with. And then maybe you can start recruiting people. And I know what you're asking. Oh, and it's probably going to be like the Nexus. I'm like, well, it could be like the Nexus, but I think it's a little bit more. The Nexus did something a long time ago that has never been replicated in professional wrestling since. And I don't know if it ever can again, as it is. They destroyed a show, literally. They destroyed the ring, they ripped it apart. Daniel Bryan tried to kill Justin Roberts by choking him with his tie. I know, because I stole it from my independent manager gimmick. Now the thing is, I think it'd be a great idea. So, it's just a little food for thought. I think if they're going to do this, do it right. And you have Ryder and Hawkins teaming together again. You have Miz and Dolph Ziggler going after the singles championships. Everybody wins. Makes perfect sense. Now all you gotta do is bring Kurt Hawkins out of obscurity and you're good to go. Oh yeah, there's a match here. Sorry, I just had to get off, I'll get off my soapbox here talking about this angry young man stable that I want to see. Fandango and The Miz. This match was kind of disjointed in places. There was a couple really awkward, like, transitions, but we'll talk about everything from that. So, there's a chin lock, of course, an elbow out of it, backdrop, Miz lands on his feet, charges in with a back elbow, ducks the clothesline, catches the flying forearm, clothesline, boot, and he goes for the wow, long day. Goes for the inverted DDT into the backbreaker, and he goes for Carino's old school expulsion. This time he hits it. He sets up for the figure 4. He gets kicked to the ring post. Santino's music hits. He dances the ring with Emma, and this distraction allows Summer Rae to come down to stop them. Well, Emma shoves Summer Rae, and she's doing her Emma dance, and basically Summer retorts by slapping her in the face. Then we have a Joey Styles trademark cat fight, and The Miz goes to the floor. So he's getting out of this. Fandango walks into the Cobra from Santino, and from behind, The Miz hits skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. This is okay. I know we're building towards this mixed tag match that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks here, with Emma and Santino against Fandango and Summer Rae, and I honestly think if they don't do it on a Raw or a SmackDown in the next couple of weeks, I think it happens at Elimination Chamber. I think it's a good idea, actually, because that gets all 4 on pay-per-view. And I don't know at this point what's going to happen, because once Total Divas starts, Summer Rae is going to be, I'm happy to say she's actually on the show now, Summer Rae is actually going to be in the spotlight. I don't know if they'll change her into a babyface, or they'll make her the big, like, queen heel of the show. I guess that just remains to be seen, but it could be interesting. So, we get our first promo of Cesaro. Roar. Yes, he's not Antonio Cesaro, because apparently Vince McMahon thought that didn't sound tough enough. So, I don't know. If I was getting accosted by a guy named Tony Cesaro, I probably would run the other way, actually. Take a baseball bat to my kneecap, stuff like that. It's like mafia-style stuff. Tony Cesaro, it fits. Ain't Claudio Cesaro, it sounds very regal. Antonio Cesaro, I got used to it. But Cesaro, one word, yes, it's like Cher or Madonna or Pepsi. Just one word. So, yeah, he's now Cesaro, and it's funny because when he cuts his promo, he's with Byron Saxton, which is very strange, obviously, because he does promos with Byron Saxton on NXT, because Byron Saxton is one of the commentators on NXT. Now, the thing about it is that he's wearing his We the People jacket. And, of course, the We the People jacket, the names are above their, the Gadsden flag logo, the Don't Tread on Me. Basically, it says Big Hoss on Swagger's jacket, and on Cesaro's jacket it says Tony. Well, it proves that WWE didn't have time to make new gear, so there's a black piece of electrical tape that is covering up the name Tony. So, like they're ashamed of it or something. And on top of that, when Cesaro comes out for his match later on against Randy Orton, usually he has the AC tights. He has what it looks like to be like wrist tape around his waist slightly to cover up the A, so it just says C. Yeah. WWE, get Claudio some new gear so he doesn't have to look goofy. But I'll talk about that match. I was very happy with it. We'll discuss that in a minute. But next, we get to crown our #1 contender for Big E, no Langston needed apparently, his Intercontinental Championship. And this match is a 4-way between very unlikely 4 competitors: Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, Rey Mysterio, and Kofi Kingston. Okay, let's go over this, shall we? Babyface, 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 Swagger. Come on, he's the only heel in the match. It makes total sense. Think about it. The Intercontinental Champion is a babyface. Who else was going to win this match? Now, I know. I'd be contradicting myself if I didn't say that, of course, in last week's video, I mentioned that I wouldn't mind having Mark Henry take the U.S. title off of Dean Ambrose on Raw, the match they had a couple days ago, or a week ago now. And then you do Mark Henry against Big E Langston, title unification, and it'd be a pass the torch moment. I know I said that, and I'll stick to it. But you're doing nothing with Jack Swagger. Obviously, Cesaro's got all the shine now because he's in the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship at the pay-per-view of the same name. Mysterio is pretty much at the end of his career at this point. And Kofi is kind of just floundering in the mid-card, trying to break out, struggling to break out. So we get this match. And let's talk about it, shall we? So, midway through the match, Mysterio hits a seated senton and the satellite head scissors, and of course, he gets pushed off to the ropes, gets caught with a wheel. He springboards back into a wheelbarrow, turned around into a bulldog. Kofi makes a save. Kofi whip in, reverse, charges in, he goes shoulder first into the ring post, and Mysterio is not a factor now. Swagger whips Kofi in, he springboards off the middle rope and nails a front drop kick. Double chop, drop kick, comes off the ropes, leaping clothesline, goes for the boom drop, he connects, and he smartly knocks Ray off the ring apron. So, Swagger goes up to, actually, he does his kick in the corner. You know, the one where he's his upside down kick in the corner on Swagger. He goes for a superplex. He gets caught. And it looks like it's going to be a Tower of Doom spot. But Mark Henry does a fallout powerbomb on a Swagger. Ray runs in and Mark Henry gets the boot up. Mark Henry clotheslines Kofi out of his boots. He goes for the over-the-shoulder, and Swagger clips the knee, goes for the Patriot Lock, but Mark Henry uses his extreme strength advantage and kicks him off. Mark Henry gets hit with a 619 into the midsection, and nailed with Trouble in Paradise. So he charges in, and Ray gets the boot up, and then he charges in, and he nails Kofi as well. There's a triple German suplex spot. Kofi has Ray, and then Swagger has Ray, so Swagger's basically German suplexes both Kofi and Ray. It was a nice spot, actually. So he tosses Kofi to the floor, he locks the Patriot Lock across the ropes, he charges in, and Mysterio catches Trouble in Paradise on Ray. Mark Henry drags Mysterio to the floor, and he landed rather awkwardly because obviously he started clutching his knee. I don't know if there's an issue or anything, but he looked like he hurt himself. He was actually, apparently, according to some pictures I saw online, he pulled up his protective knee brace and he seemed to be in severe pain. So, Kofi baseball slides Mark Henry. He tries to skin the cat, gets locked in the Patriot Lock. Kofi kicks him off, and he goes for Trouble in Paradise. Swagger ducks it, locks in the Patriot Lock, and Kofi has the tap. So, wasn't a bad match. Not bad at all. Good showcase for Swagger, and the right guy went over. I'm not going to lie about that. And with all the shine on Cesaro and his upcoming babyface turn, I think that the great idea here would be to have... Obviously, you have Swagger win. You have Swagger win at the Elimination Chamber. I know what you're saying. Oh, and why would you have Big E Langston lose? And my response is, well, he can't be Big E Langston anymore. He's just Big E. So, yeah. But the thing is, you have Swagger go over, you have Cesaro have a great performance but still lose. So Zeb, who has been slapping Swagger on a regular basis, really getting up in his face, really making casual fans believe Swagger was going to be the one that turns. It's a complete switcheroo, and Cesaro loses, Swagger wins, so... And he could even blame Cesaro for not being in his corner at the time, and Cesaro could be like, I was getting ready for the Elimination Chamber, I had a World Heavyweight title shot, you were involved in the Intercontinental title match, I'm sorry I wasn't there, and then Swagger and Zeb turn on Cesaro on Raw Monday night, the first night of the WWE Network, and bing bang boom, we have Cesaro as the babyface. Easy, simple to do, it's paint by numbers booking is what it is. So, it was an okay match for what it was. I like the finish. I like the finish a lot, actually. The skin the cat into the Patriot Lock, kick off, Trouble in Paradise, duck, and Patriot Lock again. So, yeah, it showcased a lot of the abilities of all four superstars. So, get our next match. and we're already into another match, this time 8-man tag team action. It's the New Age Outlaws, of course, your WWE Tag Team Champions, and the Nexus Relocation Program, Curtis Axel and Ryback, taking on Jimmy and Jey Uso and Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the Brotherhood. So, let's talk about this match, shall we? So, Billy Gunn with a knee drop, tags into the Road Dogg, and he nails a big boot while Jey is tied up in the ropes. Makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. So the chin lock with a knee in the lower back. Instead of elbowing out, instead of punching out, Jey Uso does something really unique. He stomps on the foot twice to break up the hold, gets caught with a Road Dogg club to the back, and Road Dogg tags in Ryback. He does a hanging vertical suplex, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. So he locks on the Cobra Clutch, and he elbows out, catches the uppercut, charges in with the back elbow, tagging to Billy Gunn. So Billy goes for the splash in the corner, he misses. So he tags in the Road Dogg, might as well. Jey finally tags in Jimmy, ducks the clothesline, and he smartly savate kicks Ryback off the ring apron, so he's not a factor. Nails a spinning back elbow on the Road Dogg, whip in reverse, comes off the ropes, and he flying forearms Curtis Axel off the ring apron to knock him off. Tossed into the ropes, catches the Road Dogg with a Samoan drop. Billy charges in, he gets caught with a full Nelson sit-out Bubba Bomb, and he does the Rikishi-style running butt bump to both Outlaws in opposite corners. Makes a cover on the Road Dogg, and Curtis Axel makes a save. So he boots Cody when Cody tries to get in the ring, and Cody ends up reversing momentum, tossing Axel to the floor. He nails the double jump plancha on Curtis Axel. And when Cody gets up, Ryback tosses him into the barricade. When Ryback stands up, he is run into courtesy of Goldust somersault senton off the ring apron. So, back in the ring, we still have a match going on. So the Road Dogg eats the super kick party from the Usos, and tagging to Jey. Jey gets on the top of the Samoan splash. Jimmy nails the Samoan suicide dive, the SSD, on Billy Gunn, Curtis Axel, and Ryback on the floor, while Jey Uso is nailing the Samoan splash on the Road Dogg, and that's all she wrote. 1, 2, 3, and the Brotherhood and the Usos win this match. I like the finish again. Enjoyable match between these four, and you know what? I know a lot of people are going to say a lot about the Outlaws being champions, and my response is, it's okay because they're transitional champions to putting the titles on the Usos finally. And that's the right thing to do. And Curtis Axel and Ryback are not a bad tag team, honestly. They really are not. I know I've went on record saying I don't like the Usos against Axel and Ryback. Those matches are kind of similar. We'll go with that. Sometimes that happens. Goldust and Cody really didn't do much in this match, especially Goldust. Actually, he really didn't do anything in this match except for the somersault senton off the ring apron on Ryback. But I assure you that if you watch the actual match, you'll see that before I started talking about the match, yes, Goldust did do some things. So, basically Randy Orton has to win this match tonight. Randy Orton, of course, lost the tremendous match to Daniel Bryan. And then he beat Christian in another tremendous match. And then on Raw, he lost again to John Cena. And now tonight, he's come to his second-to-last battle against anybody he's going to face in the Elimination Chamber. Obviously, Orton has got a lot running against him, given the fact that he's been in 5 Elimination Chamber matches and hasn't won one. And he lost to Bryan, and he lost to Cena, and he beat Christian. So he's got Cesaro and Sheamus now, because Sheamus is actually the person he's going to face in 2 days on Raw. So he has to win. And I said, it's funny because I said on this very channel before this started, soon as after Bryan beat Orton on Raw, I was like, okay, what's going to happen is he's going to beat Christian. But he's going to lose to John Cena, he's going to lose to Cesaro, and he's going to beat Sheamus. So he kind of saves face, somewhat. In essence, he loses to the guys that should beat him, and he beats the guys that he should beat. No offense to Christian or Sheamus, but that's just how it goes. But that's what I thought would happen. So, of course, Orton seems to be ready for this match, but, of course, he's still got the chip on his shoulder for the fact that he's got to face all his competitors before he even gets into the Elimination Chamber to defend the championship. So, we get this next match. I guess it's going to be your semi-main, because it was the match right before the main event. It was Damien Sandow, who, my God, talk about another person that should be involved in this angry young man stable that I'm talking about, but Sandow can do something else. He doesn't really fit with The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, so Sandow can do something else. He faces off against Darren Young. Titus O'Neil on commentary. So, Young with 3 forearms, goes off the ropes, Sandow hits him with the knee, goes for the "You're Welcome," and he flip forwards, counters, rolls him up, 1, 2, 3, match over. Titus nails Darren from behind, and Darren double legs him, rips his pants off, and Titus gets ticked off and throws the ring steps around in frustration. Okay. Please, could this have been someone else other than Damien Sandow? I feel so sorry for Sandow. I know I said a long time ago, the matches with John Cena, the fact when he cashed in Money in the Bank, a lot of people wanted him to win. And even to go back to his aborted babyface turn that happened on the Smackdown that I was at in Columbus. I will say that Damien Sandow has fallen from grace so badly, and he really needs something to get him back into something at this point. I don't know what it would be. I mean, like I said, it would be an easy crutch to put him with the Angry Young Men stable that I want to do, but I mean, you know, Sandow really doesn't. I would do something else with him at this point, but I don't know exactly what it would be. I'd give him a program of some sort with somebody. Put him in contention for something. I mean, I'd like to see them doing something with him. I mean, I like Damien Sandow. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. So, I mean, you should do something with him. So, it's going to be interesting to see where we go from this. Obviously, this match was basically just to set up more fighting between the former primetime players. That's exactly what this match was for. And I don't have an issue with this. I think that it could work. I don't know at this point because I'm reading house show results and Darren Young is actually winning these matches, which is interesting because I'd push Titus more than I'd push Darren. No offense to Darren Young. But I think Titus has a bigger upside than Darren Young does. I think Darren Young will be fine in right now. But in the long run, I think Titus is going to be the one that's the more over of the two. And, oh, by the way, another promo aired for Alexander Rusev again. And Rusev will be coming to WWE very soon. Obviously, he's been on NXT. He was at the Royal Rumble. He's done a lot of promos. Him and Lana being on television. It's a big thing because he's a monster, and that's what we need right now. We need monsters. We need more heels at this point. So, do something with it. I mean, like I said, push Rusev towards something else. Like, make him go after somebody. I mean, I think that Rusev and Roman Reigns are going to have a heck of a program someday, honestly. Once you turn Roman babyface, I think that's going to be an awesome program. You can actually have him go after Sheamus. I think that'd be a good idea. It'd be really interesting to see what they do with him. Rusev, if he was booked correctly, remember what I said about Wade Barrett being a guy who could challenge The Undertaker? I think Rusev could be a definite guy who challenge The Undertaker. It would make complete sense. It would be kind of like the Giant Gonzalez match, but Rusev has talent and ability, and okay, it's not like the Giant Gonzalez match at all. It's basically like he's just facing another monster. I guess it's kind of like Nathan Jones with talent. Lots and lots of talent. A whole lot more talent. Yeah, I like Alexander Rusev a lot, and I'm really excited to see him on WWE television, see him on Raw and SmackDown, doing more than just cutting a promo. And probably eventually obliterating Yoshitatsu or something like that on Superstars. Or the main event. That's what I'm thinking will happen before too long. Main event time. I waited all week to call this match. Non-title match. Randy Orton's gauntlet continues. This time he faces off against Cesaro. And this is funny because Cesaro is a heel. Randy Orton is definitely a heel. So, and you got Zeb Coulter, of course, is a mega heel. So you have your heel with a manager facing a heel. Now, this isn't a good idea, even though women and children will cheer for Randy Orton, because John Cena's not out there. And the fans, obviously, like the wrestling fans, not to negate the women and the children, the fans out there are going to cheer for Cesaro, obviously. So we get this match with interesting crowd reaction, so much to the point that they chanted "We the People" during this match, and Zeb had to do something that I had to do in Fayetteville when, for some reason, it ended up being like a tag team gauntlet, and I was managing the Lynch Boys like I always did, and of course, we're a heel group, we always have been, but because of the placement in the match, we had to be baby faces. So it was kind of like doing the same shtick I normally would do, but do it and getting a babyface reaction is really weird. Kind of like what Zeb Coulter did. I speak from personal experience. I know it's not fun to try to get over as a babyface when you're a heel, and vice versa. It can be done, and Zeb can do it, but I mean, it's kind of annoying, honestly. So we go to this midway through the match. So Orton locks him a sleeper. Not a chin lock, a sleeper. Of course, he must have heard me because he puts on a chin lock later. Cesaro creates separation, as it seems to be the new Michael Coleism, with the backdrop suplex. Makes a cover, 1-2, Orton kicks out. He nails Orton with the Swiss uppercut. He comes off the ropes, leaping elbow, 1-2, and a kick out. Orton goes to the floor, stop any momentum Cesaro has. So what happens? He asks the doc to check on his shoulder, because Cesaro's been working the arm. So this, of course, is a diversionary tactic for Randy Orton to get the upper hand, and that's exactly what happens. Cesaro comes in, and Orton boots him in the midsection, and does his trademark backdrop suplex into the barricade, which he does every single match. Toss him back in, 1-2, Cesaro kicks out. He locks in the chin lock, of course. And Cesaro elbows him so many times, he knocks him back into the corner. He nails the Swiss uppercut. So Orton counters with the St. Louis uppercut. So they trade back and forth. One of the only guys on the roster that can trade uppercuts with Antonio Cesaro. So whip in, reversed, and catches the elbow. So Cesaro goes to the floor. Again, to stop any momentum Orton has. So he gets sent hard into the barricade. He explodes out of the corner of the, like, over by the Justin Roberts area. Like, over by the barricade with a big clothesline on Orton. Toss him back in. There's a boot and a kick to the chest, and Orton goes for the snakebite DDT. It gets countered this time. Cesaro double legs him, going for the giant swing, and Orton gets to the ropes. So Orton, of course, gets caught again. He double legs him again, and this time Cesaro goes for the giant swing, and this time he connects. He has 18 rotations on the giant swing. Goes for the Gotch-style neutralizer. Orton backdrops him out. Cesaro lands on his feet out of the backdrop. Ducks Orton's clothesline and Samoa Joe-style power slam. 1-2 and a kick out. So he grabs Cesaro, tosses him to the ring apron, and he goes for the snakebite DDT. He connects. He points to the WrestleMania sign. Take a drink. And he starts pounding the mat and pounding the mat. He knows he's going to try to finish off Cesaro once and for all. And he gets ready to go for the RKO. And before he's ready to grab, Cesaro just rabbit punches him with the European uppercut to the back of the head. He tosses Randy Orton up in the air and nails the Swiss Death. 1, 2, and at 3, Orton kicks out. So he goes for the charging uppercut in the corner. Orton scoots out of the way and nails a standing dropkick, 1-2, and Cesaro kicks out. So Cesaro's on the ring apron right now. And Randy Orton sends him face first into the top of the ring post. So he goes for the Orton Crest Superplex, and Cesaro punches his way out. A headbutt, staggers him, and what does he do? He doubles over Orton and goes for a sunset flip powerbomb off the top, and he connects. Orton is staggered. Fans are going insane. Cesaro charges in, gets ready, and nails the roaring Swiss uppercut. Just lays out Orton. He picks up Orton, who's pretty much dead weight at this point. Nails the Gotch-style neutralizer, and gets a 3 count on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's how we go home on SmackDown this week. It was an amazing match. And it's really funny. I mentioned that Randy Orton is one of the only superstars on the roster that could go toe-to-toe with Cesaro like this. He's high impact like Cesaro. He does European uppercuts like Cesaro. And the funny thing is Cesaro used to be the one to do the superplex from the apron back into the ring. Randy Orton tried it this time. So yeah, really interesting to see. And they had tremendous chemistry in the ring. I love this match. This match was awesome. So yeah, this is tremendous shine for Cesaro. And the fans, they ate it up. They ate up this win completely. Cesaro ending the show, doing his old taunt. You know, I will say though, when Cesaro does go babyface, we should drop the We the People music, keep it with swagger, and Cesaro should go back to the European music. I like that. I think when that music hits, it hits in a way that could be an immediate pop. Honestly, I can see that completely. And I will say right now, the Antonio Cesaro that is now Cesaro that we're getting in WWE right now is just what the doctor ordered, honestly. I love this. I've been talking about Cesaro since day one, since he was doing stuff in NXT. And then when he first got into WWE, I mean, I was like, he's going to be huge. And he was. And I think if I really had to think about it, if they're not interchangeable, obviously, but you want to talk about Ring of Honor guys. And WWE had that really awesome interview talking about Ring of Honor guys that obviously omitted CM Punk for good reason right now. I think, personally, if Nigel McGuinness would have went to WWE instead of Claudio Castagnoli, I'm not sure if he would have got this far, but I think it would have worked similarly. Kind of like how he was the Desmond Wolfe character in TNA, but, like, elevated, honestly. I think this is exactly what should happen. I think that Antonio Cesaro, as a gimmick, Claudio Castagnoli, Claudio Cesaro, whatever you want to call him, he's prime. And he's great. And the fans are starting to buy into him. Once the fans buy into him, like everybody, the casual fans, not just the regular wrestling fans that know his greatness, I'm talking about the casual wrestling fans. As soon as they buy the merchandise, they will start getting into Cesaro, and Cesaro is big, he can work, he can talk, and he's going to be a superstar. Not like he's not already, but he's going to be a superstar. Now, they're obviously trying to hitch the wagon to Roman Reigns, and they're going to. I think they should hitch another wagon to Cesaro and let him just shine. I will say right now, I think I said a while ago, I said 5. Now, I think I'm going to change my mind. Antonio Cesaro will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion within 2 years. Before 2017, he will be WWE Champion. And that's how it should be, because he's awesome. So, SmackDown this week, let me tell you what you should watch, like I always do at the end of these videos. Definitely check out The Shield against Bryan, Sheamus, and Christian. It was good. I would check out if you missed the Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contendership to the Intercontinental Championship, you're not missing much, but it's not bad. It's got some good spots to it. And the Usos and the Brotherhood against the Outlaws and the Nexus, it was okay for what it was. It wasn't bad. You can skip Damian Sandow and Darren Young. It's not that good, but it was basically just done just to do the altercation at the end with the former Primetime players. And by all means, check out Cesaro and Randy Orton. That match was awesome, and it's going to be really good. Of course, really excited about February 27th. Not this coming Thursday, but next. NXT Arrival. Oh my god, it's going to be awesome. Cesaro against Sami Zayn one more time. And we get Paige and Emma for the NXT Women's Championship. And we get Bo Dallas defending the NXT Championship against Adrian Neville. And it's in the first ever ladder match. Obviously the Ascension are going to be there. And Tyler Breeze and the newly heel-turned CJ Parker. This is some good stuff right here. And it's really funny that I'm doing this right now because I found a link online to this SmackDown, and as of this very moment, it is, I'll shoot with you guys, it's like 10:30. So, in the PM on yesterday. So, yeah. I actually got the SmackDown recap almost done before the actual show ended, but yeah, I kind of missed that by like 30 minutes, but oh well. So yeah, it was good SmackDown. Really good wrestling show tonight. I very much enjoyed the matches on the show. Interesting to see as we go further on the final twists and turns on the road to the Elimination Chamber, and of course we are really deep into the road to WrestleMania now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the WWE Network when it starts next Monday. Really excited about that. We have Hulk Hogan, we have The Undertaker. There's a lot of people that are going to be coming back for that special show and hopefully sticking around. That show will start The Undertaker's program for whoever he's going to face at WrestleMania this year. And hopefully we'll find out more of what we're going to be getting at WrestleMania this year. So, that being said, wrestling fans, I'll join you yet again on Tuesday morning, or I guess for me it would be Monday night / Tuesday morning for Raw. And, of course, we're going to be doing NXT and SmackDown. They may be two separate videos. They may be just thrown together like normal. It just depends. Impact next week, of course, that's going to be taken care of as well. And we have the Elimination Chamber, which I'm definitely going to be recapping. And then the Raw the next night. And the WWE Network, which starts the day after. So, a lot of things still to come wrestling-wise on Pop. And we'll continue. And hopefully, with any luck, I know you guys, any guys that would watch this video, I don't know if you're TNA fans or not, but I know some of you most likely are not, but I do hope to be able to see TNA live again at Universal sometime, either September or December, or both, if possible. But that being said, in the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, and help spread the word about Pop. If you want to like our Facebook fan page, it's Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you want to be my friend on Facebook, it's Owen Disney. If you'd like to just follow me on Twitter and just like tweet me questions, sure, go right ahead. It's at Sir Owen Disney. Last but certainly not least, if you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions about anything you want to see on Pop, new segments you want to see on Pop, pay-per-views you'd like me to critique, just anything you want to send my way, very simple and easy to find, SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. In the meantime, thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.